Go ahead.
No roster moves. Does that mean that you have enough guys to practice and get through the week?
We'll see as the week goes. We're gonna have a number of guys not practicing today. I know McGlinchey's not going. I know Staley's not going. I know Richburg's not going. I know Pettis isn't going. I know Marquise isn't going. Did I miss any? And Sherm's not going. But we got enough guys out there to get through it.
Is there anything you can do as a coach to help Beathard from getting hit as often as he gets hit?
Yeah, that's what we work on all week. Try to get rid of the ball versus pressures. You try to get guys open faster. We could not get them hit if we ran the ball every single play. But there's lots of things. Try to stay balanced. In order to do that, you got to throw the ball well, though, so you move the chains on third down, and you got to mix a lot of stuff up.
Obviously, last year he was getting hit a lot. Have you seen, even in that one game, an improvement in his awareness and ability to kind of not take those hits as much?
Yeah, I see a lot of improvement. I think every situation's different. He played in a number of games last year where the line was pretty beat up. And that happened to him last a couple days ago also. But each game's different. I think he's gotten better knowing where people are, faster with it. That happens the more you play in a system. So he's much further ahead this year than he was last year.
It seemed like a lot of the hits he took were in the second half. Did he just find himself in a close game and really go for the win?
No, I think you get hit more the more you throw. And we were throwing more in the second half. So that's what happened a number of times. And he scrambled a number of times in the second half.
How did Jimmy have surgery yesterday?
I believe he had it this morning.
This morning?
Yeah.
And any word yet on how to win and if there was any other damage in
No,
there?
I'm not sure. We've been going pretty hard here. I'm not sure what time it was this morning, but I know he's having it sometime today.
Yeah, do you have any idea of what kind of time frame are you expecting as far as will he be able to participate in the off-season program or anything?
No, it's way too early. When he wakes up and I talk to the doctors who did it, we'll get some clarity.
Your 2 years here, I know last year you had one of the most injured teams in the league throughout the first half, and now obviously you're dealing without your quarterback and your running back and other guys. How frustrating is it, and how challenging is that for you, just knowing that you're sort of always in this situation since you've been here?
It's a huge challenge. It's the biggest challenge I think in our game. It's a challenge that a lot of people deal with that I've had to deal with in my career before. It has been a little bit different in these 2 years, just some situations I hadn't been in prior. I chalk a lot of that up to just luck. And I know the fortunate thing is, not counting our quarterback and our running back, all the O-linemen and the receivers I spoke about today, they're not going on IR. They will return eventually, hopefully sooner than later. But that's a challenge that presents every team every year. And some years you have lucky years. Last year in Atlanta, I don't think we had one guy hurt on offense the whole year. It doesn't always pan out that way. So you hope to weather the storm and get through it and win some close games, and you hope to get healthier as it goes, just like we did last year.
One more Garoppolo. Who performed the surgery and where was the surgery?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
With those offensive linemen out, obviously you're hoping they get back for Sunday, but as of today, what's the first string offensive line look like?
We got a number of guys out there. I'm not going to go through all that. I don't want everyone else to know, but the rest of the guys that are on our roster, I think how many are left after those three? I think there's 7 left, so it'll be 5 of those 7.
How would you make of Josh Rosen from what you saw on tape?
It was impressive. Similar to Colin, he's a very good thrower. He made some very good throws in that game. They definitely, I believe, should have won that game. He had 2 big ones that were dropped, I think 2 touchdowns. And it was impressive. So it's similar to college. We're going against a good player, and he definitely helps them.
When you guys got Jimmy last year, did you stop looking at or planning to look at those guys, Rosen and those young quarterbacks coming out, or did you take a peek?
Our quarterback coach does his due diligence with everyone. I try to watch a couple games on each one just so I can keep up with it each year, but I was very sure we weren't drafting a quarterback in the first round, so I don't spend as much time on it as I normally would.
Kyle, you were composed after Sunday's game, but you were clearly, maybe more irritated or upset about that loss than maybe some others. I don't know if maybe have a wrong read on that, but was there something about that loss that was just particularly galling for you?
No, I think every loss, most people handle pretty hard, I think. I know I do. It takes me some time to get over it, but I'm usually good by Wednesday. No, I was just pissed off. I think everyone was. It was a tough game. A lot of the situations we went through, so it was pretty exhausting in that situation. But no, I wanted to win, so you probably could see that on my face.
good?
What can you tell us about Steve Wilkes and Al Holcomb and what kind of defense you expect to see?
It's just exactly what they did at Carolina. Going against that a number of years when I was in that division for 2 years, and felt like I played Carolina every year before I went there, about 3 years in a row. It's extremely tough, aggressive defense. I think that they're doing a good job of it now, and they're getting better at it each week. They got some talented players. It's a very aggressive scheme. They put the pressure on you. They blitz a lot. Their backers are very downhill. They present a lot of challenges with the variety of their coverages and their pressure. So it's always aggressive, and it's always been one of the tougher ones to go against.
When teams blitz, it allows some opportunities for big plays. Are they no different in that regard?
Oh yeah, always. They're gonna be extremely aggressive. So there's times where it's an extremely uphill battle, whether it's running the ball or trying to get a pass off because of how aggressive they are. But that also puts them in a bind too. So you're gonna get your opportunities. They're gonna have their opportunities, and it's what you make out of it.
Could you explain, well, when you have a situation like you do right now at free safety with Colbert and Reed, just how you approach the week of practice and what goes into making that decision on Friday or Saturday, whenever you make it?
Yeah, whoever has a better week of practice. We would always lean towards Colbert because it was his job to start with, and he played at extremely high level last year and started out this year doing that. Been playing banged up for a while. Gave him a chance to get healthier last week. We believe he's going to be much healthier this week, so I'd be surprised if he wasn't out there.
Kittle in college, it wasn't like he was an extension of the offensive line, but he wasn't a huge part of their passing game. Did you have to in any way project what he might be able to do in the NFL, or was there enough on tape at Iowa?
You had to watch body movement, the routes that he did get at Iowa. You had to watch how he ran at the combine. Then you look at his 40 time and how fast he is. You put a lot of work into that stuff, but I was very, very surprised when we drafted him that people said we were drafting a blocking tight end. He is very good at blocking, but we didn't see him at all that way. And I guess it's because people look at his lack of numbers and stats. But I just think that was a product of the offense and the quarterback couldn't get him the ball. Just joking.
Good one.
Well done.
Just speaking to his speed, but I don't know if that was a Charger safety, but it looked like he had a great angle on him on his 82-yard touchdown.
He did, but he reversed the field, made a miss, and Kittle, he's not slow. He ran in the 4.5s. I'm not exactly sure what it was. So he's in the 4.5s, and so he has pretty good speed for a tight end, and he's a very good blocker, and he's got good hands, and he can get in and out of cuts.
Where did Kendrick Bourne have to improve from last year to this year?
Kendrick took such a big step at the end of last year, just his consistency. He came here to where he had never seen a playbook before, things like that, just the system he had played in, and just it was a lot of backyard ball for him, and which is something that makes him pretty good because he can make some plays and he has a way of just adjusting the looks naturally. But there's a part of his game that he had to learn that you can't always play backyard ball and be consistent. So he worked very hard at it through that last year, finished doing pretty good at it. And he came into this year, had a few struggles early on. I thought last week was his best game, especially with the fact that we threw him at a position that he hadn't done before. He would not have been able to do that last year, and he pulled that off for us for San Diego, so I was very appreciative and proud of him for that.
Does Richie James play X?
He plays all of them. His ideal spot is usually we've had him in the inside, but if he went this week, he would definitely be at that spot.
It was H32, why not X? Go.
Yep, there you go.
You said it fast.
When you see it the next time,
Okay.
tell me we called it. Let me see if we
All
can
right.
recognize it. All right.
All right.
You guys still haven't done anything with Bolden, right? You have
No, we got extra time with him. He was gone longer than Rube. I'm not sure the exact days. That's 4 days, but we got some time with him to decide on, and everything's going to play into that based off all our other roster situations.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
DJ's on the way.